What is up, guys? We are facing the Collector 2 Escape the Museum on Expert Mode with Peter Parker's Spider-Man. So with the main scheme here, it starts off with 7 threat, and we lose at 11. Force interrupt when the last threat is removed from the scheme, advance to stage 2A. The players win by advancing. So the win condition for this scenario is we have to clear out all 3 main schemes and effectively escape the museum. We cannot win by defeating the Collector. He has 10 hit points, but when we get that down to 0, we remove 3 threat from the main scheme and flip him over to his wounded state, where he has infinite hit points, and in each round he will recover and come back over to his normal state here. So the only way to win is by clearing this, not by defeating him. Let's shuffle up the encounter deck here. And then we're going to shuffle up our player deck here. And draw up to our hand size of 6. And let's see what we get. All right, well, this is looking like a really good hand. So we can play Lady Spider and a Beat Cop. Should we just keep this? Okay, yeah, let's just keep this actually. Okay, so we're going to keep our hand here, not mulligan. We are going to use Peter Parker's Scientist to generate a mental resource. This would be 2 more resources for a total of 3. To put down a Beat Cop here. We can exhaust Beat Cop to move 1 threat from a scheme over to here. Let's do that. So we can move this over to here. And then we're going to use this as 4 resources to play Lady Spider. And then have her thwart for 2 to take this 5, 2, 3. She would take 2 consequential damage. And then we are going to flip over to Spider-Man here and have him thwart for 1 to remove 1 threat from the main scheme. Okay, that's going to end our turn. So we are going to ready back up, draw back up to our hand size of 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it is the Collector's turn. He's going to add 1 threat to the main scheme. He's going to attack us. Spider Sense activates when the villain initiates an attack against you. Draw 1 card. So we're going to draw 1. And then let's take the attack. The Collector gets plus X scheme and attack for whatever the stage number is. So it's on stage 1, so he gets plus 1 attack. So he will hit us for 3, plus the boost card here. 4, so we're going to take 4 damage, dropping from 10 down to 6. Okay, next, the Collector will deal us 1 encounter card. When reviewed in hero form, you are stunned, and the Collector attacks you. So we have 6 hit points here. If he gets a boost card of 3, then we lose. Should we take that risk? Let's take the risk. So we're going to just take the attack. This would be Spider Sense activate, so we can draw a card. Oh, we got a backflip, so we don't need to take the risk. So let's take the attack here. So he's hitting us for 1. Perfect. So he's gonna hit us for 3 plus 1 for 4. Let's actually not use a backflip, and we're just gonna take the 4 damage. So we're gonna drop from 6 down to 2. And the reason why we don't care is because we have Aunt May, which can heal us for a lot during our upcoming turn. So first, it's back to our turn. Let's attack the Collector to get rid of stun, and the attack won't go off. And then, let's see. We want to put down the under surveillance for sure. So let's use, I want to get down Agent Coulson. So we're going to use this as 3 resources to play Agent Coulson. When Agent Coulson enters play, we can search our deck and discard pile for a preparation card and add it to our hand. So we're going to put Spycraft here, it's at the bottom of the deck, to our hand. Alright. And then, do you want to put the under surveillance? Yeah, so let's use this as 2 resources to play under surveillance, which increases the target threat value of the main scheme by 4. So instead of losing at 11, we will lose at 15 now. And then we're going to flip over to Peter Parker, use Scientist to generate a mental resource to play Aunt May, and exhaust her to heal by 4 to go back up to 6 here. All right. And then next, let's have Agent Coulson thwart for 2. Beat Cop moves 1 threat over from the main scheme to here for a total of 3. Beat Cop gets 1 more threat, and then Coulson takes 1 consequential damage. Okay, that's going to end our turn, so we're going to ready everyone back up now, and then draw back up to our hand size of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it is back to the collector's turn. He adds 1 threat to the main scheme. He will scheme against us for a base of 3 plus 1 boost card, 2 more, so he is scheming for 5. So it's back up to 7, and then 1 encounter card, exhaustion, surge, exhaust your identity card. So we are exhausted, and then 1 more encounter card because it's surged. Attached to your identity, attached character gets -1 thwart, -1 attack, and -1 defense. So we are kind of useless right here. We can take 1 damage and spend 2 mental resources to discard this card, and it's a hero action. So let's put this right here. Okay, so back to our turn. Let's use Aunt May to heal by 4 again to jump back up to 10 here. So back up to max. And then we want to use Peter Parker's Scientist. Okay, so we're going to use this as 3 resources, Peter Parker's Scientist as a 4th to get 4, so we can play Nick Fury, which costs 4. When Nick Fury enters play, choose 1. We will pick the one to draw 3 cards. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next, let's flip over here. So we're gonna flip over back to Spider-Man. Okay, and then we can play this hero action one way or another. Search the encounter deck for a side scheme and review that side scheme. And then we can draw 3 cards. So let's put in the crystal ball here. The player who defeats the scheme may draw a card from their hand, reducing its resource cost by 3. And it will start off with 3 threat plus hinder 2, so 5 threat total. And then we also add an acceleration token to the main scheme here, which is not good, but I think we can get rid of it. So hero action, after we review the side scheme, we can draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have a lot of resources here to now try to get rid of it. I really wanted to draw the Web of Life and Destiny, but I don't think we will get it this turn. Yeah, that's okay. So let's have, do we have anything else to draw? No, we don't. Okay, so Lady Spider will thwart for, oh wait. Before she thwarts, we have to become a Web Warrior first. So let's use this as 3 resources. Okay, so we're going to use this as 3 resources to put down a Quincarrier, which we can only play if we are an Avenger, which we are as Spider-Man. Exhaust Quincarrier to generate 1 resource to play Warrior the Great Web. Attached to a character with Spider in his title, we're gonna put it on Spider-Man. We now gain the Web Warrior trait. So now we can have Lady Spider thwart for 2 from here to bring it down to 3. And then after you thwart with her, if we control another Web Warrior card, which we do because Spider-Man is now a Web Warrior, we can remove another 2 threat from another scheme. So let's remove 2 from the main scheme too. And then she will take 2 consequential damage and be discarded. Okay. And then next, I think I actually messed that one up. Yeah, because this allows us to play Indian Spider-Man for free anyways. So let's keep this for next turn then. So we're going to use this as 3 resources when paying for yellow card, because the power of justice can count for 2, to play Indian Spider-Man. Yeah, I really messed that one up because now Lady Spider let play. Okay, so when he enters play, remove 1 threat from the scheme for each Web Warrior card you control. We have 1, 2, so we can remove 2 threat from here because it's down to 1. Let's have Coulson and Nick both thwart. Actually. Okay, let's use this hero action right here. So do yourself 1 face down encounter card and remove 5 threat from the main scheme. So we can just clear this out here. The acceleration token stays. This will be discarded because the main scheme moves to the next stage. Put aside the set aside Milano support from the ship command encounter set into play under the first player's control. Oh, I really messed up because I could have used this to play Ironheart. That's okay. So we're going to flip over now to Lost in the Museum, which has 11 threat, and we will lose when it hits 15. So first we can use Beat Cop to move 1 threat over to here, so this will be 3. Next we're going to have Coulson, Fury, and Indian Spider-Man thwart for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to remove 5 threat from here. They will all take consequential damage. And then that is going to end our turn here. So we're gonna ready everyone back up. Draw back up to our hand size of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it is the collector's turn. He's gonna add 2 threats to main scheme because of the acceleration here. He will now attack us for a base of 2 plus 2, so 4. Spider Sense activates, so we can draw a card. Let's have Nick Fury jump in a way and defend this. So 4 plus a boost card here. Put Psionic Ghost into play. So Nick Fury takes 4, he is discarded. Psionic Ghost will now attack us for 2 to bring us from 10 down to 8. And then 1 encounter card, so we have a total of 2. First encounter card is Impossible Geometry, Insight 1, and then You Are Confused. So we get confused. And then last encounter card, another Impossible Geometry, so Insight 1 again. You are confused. If you are already confused, we are. Choose and discard 1 card you control. Let's get rid of Aunt May here, because I don't plan on flipping again this turn. Okay, so it is back to, or this game I mean, it's back to our turn. Let's see. First, let's use Beat Cop to move 1 threat from Crystal Ball over to here. So when defeated, the player who defeats a scheme, they play a card from their hand, reducing its cost by 3. So we're going to play Avengers Mansion with 1 cost, because we are reducing this from 4 to 1 by exhausting the Milano to generate that 1. And then this, when defeated, goes in the victory display. It doesn't get discarded, so we can just remove this from the game. And we can also get rid of the acceleration token there. Okay, let's use Avengers Mansion to draw a card. Still no Web of Life and Destiny here, which is what we're looking for. Let's see. We're going to use Quincarrier to generate 1 resource. This would be a double when paying for a yellow card for a total of 3 resources to play Beat Cop. And we're going to exhaust it immediately to move 1 threat from the main scheme over to here. And then, let's see. We want to get SPDR down, because how many cards are left in our deck? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the Web of Life and Destiny is definitely coming up here. So let's use this as 2 resources to put down SPDR. And then they attack for 1, 2, 3. Spider-Man can attack 2. That's at 8 threat. We lose at 15. So I think we're okay. So Spider-Man is going to swing, hit the Psionic Ghost for 2 here. Oh, sorry, hit him for 1 because we have -1 thwart, 1 attack, and 1 defense. So we're only hitting him for 1. Then we're going to flip over back to Peter Parker. We're going to use Scientist to generate a mental resource to play Spider Tracer and attach it to Psionic Ghost. Then we're going to have SPDR, Coulson, and Spider-Man all attack for 1, 2, 3 to finish off the Psionic Ghost. They will take their consequential damage. Spider-Man takes 1, SPDR takes 1, Agent Coulson is discarded from taking 1 as well. And then the Spider Tracer will activate when attached minion is defeated, remove 3 threat from the scheme. So let's get 3 off of here. Okay, and then that is going to end our turn. So we're gonna ready back up here. And then draw back up to our hand size of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, there it is, 5, 6. Okay, so it's the collector's turn. He will add 1 threat to the main scheme. He's gonna scheme for a base of 4, because plus 2 here, plus a boost card, 1, so he's scheming for 5. And then give the collector a tough status card. So hopefully he does not get an advance here, because we can't use Enhanced Spider Sense in Peter Parker form. So this is his boost card, Master Plan. When reviewed, place 4 threat on each side scheme. If there are no side schemes in play, there are none. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a side scheme is discarded and reveal that side scheme. So we are milling down here. Where are all the artifacts? We're getting rid of everything, which is not good. No artifacts. Are we out of them? Okay, so he decks out. So there would be 1 acceleration token on there. And then whenever the collector decks out with something like this, I just learned the new rule. This would be discarded, but we don't keep milling the new deck for another side scheme. So the condition is considered fulfilled. All right. That was good and bad, I guess. Okay, so let's see. What's the play here? Okay, so first, let's use Avengers Mansion to draw a card. We deck out, so he will deal us 1 encounter card here. And we're going to shuffle our discard pile back into the deck. Okay. Next, let's play the Web of Life and Destiny, which we can play for free. If our identity has a web warrior trait, we do as Peter Parker with the Warrior of the Great Web here. So we now have the Web of Life and Destiny in play. And then we are going to use Peter Parker's Scientist to generate 1 mental resource. Quincarrier generates a 2nd mental resource. And this would be a 3rd mental resource for a total of 3 to play Moon Girl. We can only play her if we have the Genius trait, which we do as Peter Parker. After you play Moon Girl from your hand, draw 1 card for each mental resource used to pay for it. We use 3, so we're drawing 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next, let's put this over here. Next, let's flip over to Spider-Man here. And then, okay, so we're going to have both beat cops move 2 threat over to each beat cop. So this would drop from 11 down to 9. Next, let's have SPDR Thwart for 2 from the main scheme as well. So we get this down to 7. When she takes excess consequential damage, which she does, she can return to our hand and we draw another card with the Web of Life and Destiny's effect. Spider-Man gets +1 attack as well. So we're up to 2 attack because this is increasing our attack by 1. Next, let's have Moon Girl is going to Thwart for 2 in the main scheme here. She would take 2 consequential damage. Indian Spider-Man will attack the Collector for 1 to get rid of his tough status card. He would take consequential damage and be discarded. With the Web of Life and Destiny, we can now draw another card. Okay, not another backflip. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we're going to use this hero action here. Do yourself 1 face down encounter card and remove 5 threat from the main scheme. So we're going to flip this over to its final stage. When reviewed, flip Library Labyrinth. So it now is the museum ship. Force interrupt when the villain phase begins. Choose 1. We can either exhaust Milan to deal 2 indirect damage among players or deal 3 indirect damage among players. Hopefully he will not get another turn. Place 1 acceleration token on the main scheme. So now it's 2, and then shuffle the remaining set aside ship encounter set into the encounter deck. So we're gonna put these in here. Okay. Now let's shuffle up. Okay, but hopefully it doesn't matter, because like I said, we want to try to end it right here. So now it will be on the main scheme here, and it's going to have 8 threat. All right, let's see. So 2 Web Warrior allies left play earlier. SPDR, which came back to our hand in Indian Spider-Man. So Spider-Man now has +2 attack, -1 here. So Spider-Man has 3 attack. He's going to hit the collector for 3 to bring him from 10 down to 7. And then we're going to use this as 3 resources to play a swinging web kick to bring the collector down from 7 to 0. And he is now going to flip over to his wounded state. So, let me see. When the collector would be defeated, remove 3 threat from the main scheme and then flip him over. So he's wounded now, and we're gonna try to run away from him. We will use this first player action here, exhaust the Milano, and remove 3 threat from the scheme here. So this would drop down to 2. And then we will play SPDR using this as 2 resources, and then have her thwart for 2 from the main scheme. And that will help us escape the museum. That was a super duper fun game of the Collector Escape the Museum on Expert Mode.